Well, hey, welcome back, guys. Just got a text from sponsorship Terry. Anyway, still laughing. He still got me smiling. Hey, listen, back from FTR race yesterday, and had a great time. The kids both did very well. Miss Kyla's bike ran okay. Had a couple issues with the throttle cable, so she came in on the first lap and stopped in the pit area and said that she was pulling the clutch lever in and the bike was not stopping, so she was stalling a lot. So not sure what's going on. We adjusted the linkage here a little bit and got a little bit better. She took off, and Miss Kyla finished second, so really good finish. I think it's the third second in a row for her, so on a roll there. We just got to get this clutch deal figured out for her. Mr. Brandon, this is your overall winner from yesterday, and he was on a tear. That quad handled exceptionally well, and got him all cleaned up, and he's ready to go here. So hey, listen, Brandon, I'm very excited for Brandon. Brandon has become or is becoming something really special, to be honest with you. It's just amazing to watch the kid ride, and some of the things that he does. We didn't get it on video, but I'll tell you guys a little short thing what he did. So leading the race, he third on the whole shot, I think it was, and got the lead sometime in the lap there, and you guys has probably watched the video already. But anyway, he come down, did not stop for fuel, and he come down going third lap into the fourth lap, and come out of the chicane, mashed the throttle. We're all sitting there in the pit area waiting on him to go by, and he mashes the throttle and gets the bike rolling, and then jumps up on the seat and surfs like this for about 100 foot, and then he jumps back on the seat and takes off. So anyway, I have fun with that kid. Anyway, Brandon's a good kid, and anyway, I don't know what to say. You know, very, very blessed, me and his mom both. All right, so today's project, got them all washed up, got everything all cleaned up, and I'm going to work on the 850 out here today. So got these beautiful parts in from J Parts, BNR power steering unit. I've got to get this quad done, so this is the project today. I'll be out here in the shop working. I got CJ, he's out here working on a Prius, doing some brake work and all that kind of stuff, so they'll be in the background. But anyway, my project is I've got to get this thing here done. This thing is been a very reliable quad for us, and the last time Brandon rode it, it was phenomenal. So DeRisi Racing has the shocks dialed in for us, and so I'm excited to get this thing all finished up. So get a little bit of video of that. All right, so making a little bit of progress on the 850. So I went ahead and removed the front plastics here, removed the front bumper, so I can get to everything here. So I pretty much, I'm almost ready. I got to go get the airbox bolt off here, but I got the power steering units just, you know, sort of sitting in there. So I have got the pitman arm off. So let me show you. This is the pitman arm here, and obviously there's nothing wrong with it. This is a BNR beefed up one with the Zerk fitting. So we'll put that one to the side, and being that we're still using, you know, all the BNR stuff there. So anyway, I've got to get this airbox off here, and then once I remove that, I can remove that stem and start rocking out. So it's a lot of work here, you know, and people that you guys that don't have Renegades, you know, it's aggravating. You know, everything in here is hard to get to. So but listen, it's we like these machines, and we'll get after it. I was going to tell you guys, I almost forgot this thing, but anyway, everything's sort of loose here, but it still wasn't coming off here. So I almost forgot this little bolt. There is a bolt hidden right here, and I've heard of people breaking them before, but you've got to move your reservoir here off back. But there's a bolt right there. I don't know if you can see that, but anyway, I've heard of people breaking these, and I can't remember where that darn bolt was at. And evidently, as I was rocking it back and forth, I knew it was still attached somewhere, and I'm like, I know that bolt's here somewhere. And of course Brandon, I'm sure, knows where it's at, but Anyway, I'm out here doing it by myself, but anyway, I'm gonna remove that bolt, and then at that point we should be able to take this airbox off here, and then at that point we can get to the stem. All right, so here we go. Yeah, that little bolt was it's right there, and it goes through the frame here, and it also holds this brake cable here up. So but as you can see here, I about got it out here now, but that's pretty much it there. Anyway, it's a little devil to get out, to be honest with you, but and it's a lot of dang work, but anyway, this is what it looks like. So while I got it out here, I'm probably going to go ahead and clean this thing up a little bit, and take the air filter out and wash it all inside the box there and that kind of stuff. But I also removed the radiator, and while I got the radiator out, I'm gonna pull the fan off here and pull the front guard off here, and I'm going to take and flush that thing really good, because what happens is they end up getting dirt, because that fan sucks dirt in, and it'll get around there and it'll clog your radiator up. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that while I got all this stuff out. Got the handlebars off of the mount here, and I did take the little brace off here, and this is obviously the upper stem bushing here. This is a little Ceeco. Rick Ceeco makes a really nice piece that stiffens this whole stem up here, and but anyway, little bolt there that you screw in and tighten it down, but that piece goes all the way down in there, okay, all the way down quite a ways there, and anyway, it stiffens this whole complete stem up. So because there's a lot of flex in that, this tube is not obviously very thick. And but anyway, on the J Parts one, we will not be using that, as they've made the pipe, you know, it's an aftermarket thing. This is an OEM one here, so Rick makes a really good product here for the OEM. So if you guys don't have that, definitely need to get that, because your stem will bend in this area, not by wrecking, most definitely it'll bend, but just by the forces, by the time that your body weight's up here on the back of the quad here, just pushing and framing on this thing here will bend. So anyway, all right, so I got everything loose down there. I'm gonna get this stem off the unit there, pull that out, and then the unit should come out. So we're almost there. Oh, there we go. Okay, let's see how we can get this thing out of there. I may end up having to, I probably should go ahead and remove that. That way I can slide that out of here. Let me go ahead and get that off there. That way we can eliminate all this. Just go ahead and get it out of the way. This is the breather tube here for the CVT. So that's how the CVT gets air. Okay, so let's see if I can grab this thing. There we go. All right, so there we go. Move some of this stuff out of the way, but alright, so here's the unit here that I'm going to be replacing. Now this thing here is not completely bad. It's just that Brandon says that it goes and comes, and I'm not sure if it's getting hot inside, and you know, obviously there's a lot of stresses with the big 25-inch GBC tires, and so I'm not sure. Not sure if there's a little dent there in that canister. There's a small little dent right there. Not sure that hurts anything. But anyway, what we're going to do is, obviously we're going to put on that new one over there. So I've got to pull this little plate off. These 3 bolts here. We have replaced this before. These little nuts right here, you got to be real careful with them. Those darn things will strip out on you. So we've had to replace this little plate right here. But anyway, I got to remove these 3 bolts here, put on that one there, and then I'm gonna go ahead and clean some of this stuff up here, and and then probably just clean around some of this stuff here too. You know, obviously this quad was washed, but with all this stuff in the way, it's hard to really get everything. So but anyway, probably just go ahead and clean up some of this stuff. Going to go ahead and clean the throttle body. That was pretty clean in there, which tells me that we're doing a pretty good job with the air filter. So anyway, all that looked really good in there, but I just want to go ahead and I'm probably going to go ahead and clean it while it's here, while I got it apart, and just sort of clean up everything in here. So try to make it look, you know, a lot better than it did whenever I pulled it apart. So we'll see you there. All right, so it's getting late. I did take the radiator and all that stuff outside out there and wash and clean it up and wash through it and everything, and there was quite a bit of stuff in there, so glad I did that. And we haven't did that to this quad in quite some time, but anyway, so I've got it out in the sun there drying, and we'll not be putting this back together today. So listen, I got to get inside. It's Sunday afternoon, and I told my wife I'd quit at 5 o'clock, and it's right at 5 o'clock, so I got to get in there and quit. But anyway, I've got most of this stuff here cleaned up. I got the throttle body cleaned. I've cleaned and wiped as much as I possibly can. You know, so some of the wiring harness and all that stuff has still got some, you know, some of the stuff on there, but I just can't, you know, I mean, golly. But anyway, it does look a lot better. You know what I mean? I've cleaned all this stuff here, so it does look a lot better. So I cleaned the frame up, and most importantly, I've checked for cracks and stresses and that kind of stuff, and I don't see anything. So this is the quad that Brandon and I last summer put all the gussets on from BNR and all that kind of stuff, and we have not removed the engine and out of this particular quad here. So but anyway, I don't see anything, so everything looks really good. So but anyway, video is going to be continued, and I'll get back out here probably tomorrow evening, and I'm going to start putting this thing back together, and interested in seeing what these J parts will definitely change, and also the power steering unit too. So I am so excited with these products right here. Look at this, just so you can just tell the amount of work and time and effort that it goes into these parts, and so I'm so excited for that, and I can't wait to get it back together. So I'll come back out here tomorrow and start chopping at it and see what I can end up with. Got a couple questions I want to ask Brandon too, so I got to get the torque specs out too. That's the other thing I don't have out here, so I want to make a copy of that and bring out here, because I want to torque all these bolts and that kind of stuff. So as always, I appreciate you guys watching, and I enjoy doing it. You know, I wish I could get more footage for you guys, but anyway, I'm trying to explain to you what I'm trying to do here and that kind of stuff. But anyway, you guys stay tuned. Back here, so I'm back out here today working on this 850. And when I last left you guys, I had taken it all apart, and we got to obviously replace the steering unit, and I was going to install all the J parts products, which I have, and I have cleaned up the so there's the air box and the fan, that kind of stuff. The radiator sitting over there. So as you can see, okay, so today it's Saturday. I haven't worked on this thing all week. Been doing some other stuff on some other quads that I've got sitting over there, but some customer stuff. But anyway, today's the day that I'm gonna get after this thing here and try to get this thing finished up. Really early this morning, and I went ahead and I've got the J part stem in there. I've got the brand new BNR power steering unit that we got from them, and I appreciate those guys. Also, I've got the pitman arm from J parts with the brand new bushings, and you can see that I've already got it all mounted up here. You can see the clamping, the way it clamps here. Really easy to install. Wasn't that bad at all. You can see that I've already lubed it and greased it and that kind of stuff. But one thing I will show you, this thing, obviously I'm going to turn it with my hand, but this thing is actually really easy to turn, and I haven't installed one that's that easy. So I'm not sure if it's the machining in here and down there. I'm not sure, but I will tell you, it all went together really easy, and so that is complete. So I'm getting ready to, I got to install the air box, which is a little bit aggravating, get that on there, and then the handlebars. I may trade out the handlebars to put a little bit of riser on them, maybe. Not sure yet. And then put this thing back together. So you guys watch along as I try to do this. You know, it gets really quiet around here. I usually have I got the radio blaring over there. I'm out here, of course, by myself, and well, I got the dogs out here. These are the dogs. They love hanging out with me. So what they do is they get over there on the carpet and just lay down. But anyway, yeah, it gets really quiet out here when I turn that radio off. But I got to do that because of dang copyright infringements or whatever. So hey, listen. So had a fella come up here and. I got a lot of work done over here and didn't video any of it because he come up here and he's chit-chatting, sat there in the chair there, and he likes to talk. So as he was talking and we were talking, I was working. So anyway, got the radiator mounted, got the tie rods put on, got the air box on there, got it all mounted down, the ECM's back in. Everything's plugged in over here, just trying to make sure that I'm away from my coils with my wire there. So yeah, you know, rocking out on it. And then this is where I'm at now, and I just laid that up there. Of course I shouldn't have grabbed that, but I'd considered putting some higher flex bars on here just by a little bit. I don't know, I may end up leaving those, but I've got a set over here that that Brandon and I got off of that quad, that neon green quad. These are essentially like new condition. So but they are a little bit taller, so I thought about putting those on there, you know what I mean. And but then again, if I did that, he's probably not gonna like that. So this is probably our oldest set of flex bars that we have. And so anyway, I'll, you know, honestly probably just leave them darn things on there, and then I'll ask him about that and see what he thinks. The reason why my idea with that is because we don't have the Ceeco steering stem support in this one, and I don't know whether it's going to sit lower than the other one, is what I was getting at. So if I can walk over here and I can show you on these other quads here. So this is the Ceeco mount here that slides down into the stock tube. Well, we don't have that, so I'm wondering that little 1/4, 3/8, whatever that is there. It might affect his the way he sits on the quad and rides it. So that was the reason why I was wanting to put those on there, only reason why. So these obviously still work and perform good. They're older, they're a couple of years old, but they still work. He's put new bushings and grommets and that kind of stuff in there. So all right, so I'm going to go ahead and continue. Going to turn my radio back on, and so probably just going to go ahead and bolt these back on and let that ride out, and then start throwing some plastics on this thing. Also got some interesting stuff over there. You can probably see it over there, from Mr. Rick Ceeco. So he did send us a bunch of items, and I'm going to install those items on this quad. Front bumper, got a intrusion bar in the back, a radiator hose guard. I can't remember what else is over there, but anyway, quite a bit of stuff over there. So I want to thank Rick for sending us that stuff, and we're getting ready to put it on this quad here, and I'm interested to see what it looks like. And of course, he built some really good products and some really nice products. Same way with this Just J Parts guy. It's all hand built, man. These guys are they're phenomenal at what they do. And if you guys need parts for your ATVs, make sure you look them up, okay? These guys pour a lot of effort into our races. The sport that we all love, okay? So we need to support them, all right? So but Rick Ceeco is the same, and the guy, if you guys don't follow him, go follow him. You'll see what I'm saying. The guy's beautiful work, and he obviously is a racer himself, so he understands you know, what we go through, what the abuse it goes through, that kind of stuff. So but anyway, I'm going to be installing those products on this quad here too. So let me go ahead and get this radio turned back on. I'll get going on this thing. Well, I got the front plastics mounted up there. Airbox got all that stuff tight. The front plastics are mounted up here. Still got to put the dash panel in here, and also this is his horn wire. I've got to reroute that wire there. It looks like that thing's got in there, but this is the horn button here that so Brandon's got, you know, got a horn there. So yeah, and then also, so I told you that I was going to be getting some Ceeco parts out, and I have got that front bumper mounted. This thing is a magnificent piece. Look at this. The quality and craftsmanship into this. It even come with the screws that bolts the large number plate. So the large number plate will bolt there. Look at that. Look how nice that looks. So that, and then it come with all the hardware here, new bolts here. And what I actually like about it, that there's actually a I didn't get any video of this, but there's actually a bracket that you have to purchase here. Okay, depends on your machine, but there's a bracket that will bolt onto the frame here. Okay, if you ever bend this bumper, say he whacks a tree or something with this thing here, literally just these 4 bolts right here, this whole bumper comes off, so we can replace this if we needed to. So anyway, and he's got a little tab sticking up here. The bolt lined it right up. That supports all the plastics from jumping around. I still don't have some of this stuff bolted up here, but for instance, that, you know, that bolted right up. Now, I do have an issue that I'm trying to overcome here. So this is my my iron. I think it's an iron ballistic. All right, come on. Skid plate. Okay, it's a full belly skid plate that runs all the way up underneath the quad. This is where we originally had it on the other bumper. So what I'm going to do, and then as you can see here, when I pull this up, it you know, I'm not being able to bolt it flat there. So what I'm going to do, I think, is I'm going to put a bolt there and run it through the center right there. That'll hold that up, okay? And merely, you know, this is just a, you know, I think that'll work. So I'm just going to put a single bolt there to there. Okay, now I'll be able to get my hand and wrenches in there to be able to put a nut and everything on it. So anyway, boy, I really like the way this looks. So also, I'm going to be installing this here. I went ahead and laid it out here. This is what they call a rear intrusion bar, because with the Can-Am Renegades, when they line up here, it keeps from people coming in here and damaging all your exhaust and components back here. So this is a intrusion bar. This will bolt right in this area, sort of like that and like that. Okay, and then that way quads can't run up in there and damage any of your quad. And come with new bolts, which is always really nice. So Rick Ceeco really thought about this, and you know, thought about the end user. I'll tell you another thing too that I know that he thought about us is, see how this has got cutouts right here? So now I don't have to remove this every time I need to remove the A-arm. Literally, I just slide it out, but he cut these out right here. So just little stuff like that just saves us a ton of time and effort whenever we're out here working on things. And then there's one more item that I got from Rick Ceeco, is this, obviously new bolts, but these are fender braces, okay? Because these rear plastics, they flop around a lot. This will bolt right there, and merely like something like this. So that'll help support the rear plastics from flapping. The only thing they're bolted to is this piece here, and then they just flap like crazy. So here you go. So see, so what's going to happen is this is going to bolt there, okay, and then that'll support this plastic from flapping around. So really nice piece. So and of course it come with all the stuff there. So anyway, yeah, making headway on it. So gonna go ahead and try to get that repaired, finished up there. Gonna get this rear intrusion bar on there, and then probably get these plastic rear mounts on there, and then got to mount all that stuff back. So and then this thing will be getting there, you know, pretty much ready for him to go test. Got the J parts on there, and steering's really nice and tight. So I have not started the bike up. I still do have to mount the battery in there, put some of these exhaust shields on here where I had repaired that exhaust. So I still got to do some of that too. And then also I got some good cotter pins. This came loose the last time he ridden it, and the cotter pin broke. So got to do that, and then got to lube everything. So all right, let me finish up all this stuff here. All right, so I got this. So what I did here is I just drilled a single bolt here. This is where it used to mount at here on the other bumper. Just drilled a single bolt there. Put a lock nut on there. I may end up putting another nut on there just to jam it, but I'm not sure if this is the way I'm going to leave this, or I mean, it feels nice and secure and all that, but I'm not sure if there's another plate that I could purchase that goes up under here and maybe bolts in here. I don't know yet, so that'll be a question that I ask. But boy, the bumper really does look nice. So I want you guys to look at this. Look how nice all this fit. I mean, it you know, what I did is I pulled the diff bolt out. That's where it bolts in there, okay? And took that bolt out, put the bolt back in, Loctited that, and this thing went right up there. Look at that. I mean, it's like perfect. So man, Rick done a good job on those for sure. The other thing is you can see that I got the fender braces mounted up, so they just go in here and put some Loctite on those bolts there. So that's going to hold those fenders from flapping, and that ought to be a lot better. So but anyway, boy, look at that. It really looks nice. Really looks nice. So I'm getting pretty excited. All right, so there it is. I've got plastics all mounted, got the dash all hooked up, and I wanted to show you guys. So rear plastics and everything are on there, but my goodness, look how much it stiffens this up. These supports are the bomb right here. So these are made by Ceeco, but look at that. That's unbelievable. Back in the day, whenever I used to ride, I remember leaning against these things, you know, getting off the seat or something like that, and as you're riding, and it just felt like you was falling off the four-wheeler. But look at them things are, I mean, that's really awesome. So okay, so got everything, and I did start running it. I just started it up and it ran fine. Power steering seems to be fine. I did put a cotter pin in here. But my hunch is this is warm. This rotor's warm just by turning it in forward. So this cotter pin obviously broke the last time that Brandon rode this thing, and when it did that, you know, this thing come loose. So I think it's warped this rotor, because this right here is a little warm. I can put my hand on it, but this one over here is ice cold, obviously. Okay, so you can see the difference in it. So that's a no-go, because what'll happen is when he's riding it, it'll heat the brakes up, and then he'll go into the first corner, or go into a corner, and it won't have any brakes. So I think Brandon's got some DP brake rotors up there in all of our stash. I know we got some DP brake pads from Mr. Larry Mills. So my guess is I'll be replacing this one. I'm probably going to go ahead and do both of them on the back, or maybe even do all four of them. To hell with it. And that way I know that they're done. And but anyway, instead of just replacing one, let's just go ahead and do them all, and then that way they're all replaced, and that way we can keep up with the maintenance. I'd have lubed everything. I still don't know that I like this up here like that. I may end up coming and putting a shim or something in there, so when that locks down, there's no give to that. So I'll probably come in and put in some kind of, I'll probably put some kind of rubber grommet or something in there just to tighten that up. But boy, look at that. Oh, I was going to put the front bumper on for Brandon, and I still may do that. Have to drill some holes, but boy, look at that. So I'll probably end up doing that. And then all right, so the only other thing that I've got to do before he can test ride this thing is these GVC tires, I think two of them's got holes in it. One we found at Mid-East. The other one was on this particular quad whenever I was prepping it over there the other day, last weekend, for the race. So I know two of those have got punctures in them somewhere. Now yeah, here we go. There's a split right there. Now they got tire spines in them, so it's not like it, you know, it'll go, you know, that, you know, he'd still be able to finish the race, but obviously we can't put those on that quad to test. So probably what I'm gonna do, these are the skinny wheels on this quad, these are the wide wheels. He likes the wide wheels on this particular quad with the shock setup that he's got with Santo DeRisi, James, and all them guys. He likes this combination. But and then also this quad gets the wide wheels too, because I remember when we was testing this one, we had the wide wheels on there. So what I'm probably going to end up doing, instead of me out here, because I'm out here by myself, I can't do those by myself. I have to have Brandon on the skid steer with me, and so we can do the tire balls or the tire spines. And so what I'm going to probably do is pull these off this quad, okay, and put them on this one. My guess is he'll be riding this one. These two bikes are parked for a little bit. These are, well, this is an FTR bike. I think he's turned that into an FTR bike, but this one's definitely parked because that is a backup for next season. So I don't want to put no hours on it. So I think I'm going to take these tires off this thing here, mount them on that thing there, and then I might drive it through the yard and see how I like the J parts. And obviously I'm in love with all the Rick Ceeco stuff here. And you guys, you know, if you was in person, you'd see everything bolted up exactly how it's supposed to be. Didn't have to do no drilling. And you know, that's crazy important because these guys build these parts, and it's just unbelievable. They all just bolted right together. So anyway, good quality product. So I'm excited for Brandon to see it. And you know, Brandon's not here obviously, but I'm excited for him to see it. So all right, let me wrap this up. Let me get those tires off that thing. I'm gonna put them on this thing and set this thing on the ground. Let's check it out, guys. Well, there it is. 850 is all completed. I removed the tires off of the four-wheeler that he ran last weekend and put them on this one here. So the 850 is all done. Man, I still like that Ceeco stuff. Look at that. It's just unbelievable. But anyway, yeah, it's all completed. Hey, listen, I did have to adjust the toe in this thing. The toe end was out of this thing, and also it didn't drive straight with the handlebars. So there is something different about the geometry in that J Parts Pitman arm, or either I missed something somewhere. But anyway, I did have to adjust the toe in on it. It was towed in more, and I merely, Brandon rode this ATV last and it was running really well, and that nut come loose. So that's when he parked it. So I know that all that's, and I didn't move the tie rod ends, I just merely put them back on, and it was adjusted and it was towed in. So so that tells me that there is something a little different about that Pitman arm. So hey, listen, got it all finished up late in the afternoon, and drove it across the yard and back, and I can't wait for Brandon to ride it, and for him to just see it, see some of the stuff that I've done here in the J parts and that kind of stuff, and the Ceeco products, the front bumper. Also, I was going to tell you too, after looking at this, this is the number plate. So I would merely pull these bolts out, stick the number there, put that back on. No needing for me to put that number plate over there. So that is a number plate, or that is the number plate. So I don't know what the hell I was thinking, but anyway, nevertheless, not going to stick that on there right now, but very excited for Brandon. I'm getting ready to send him some pictures of it, and I've been trying to document it throughout the process and send him some pictures so he can see what I'm doing and that kind of stuff. He's busy today. He's not able to be out here, but I'm sure he'd love to be out here to ride something and ride these things here. But anyway, he's not here. So all right, that's going to be a wrap on the video here, guys. I appreciate it. I appreciate Jay at J Parts and also Rick at Ceeco Racing. Both of those guys, both of those products went on here exceptionally easy, bolted right up. It was unbelievable, and the quality of the products is unbearable. It's just I can't believe that they just bolt right on. No drilling, no nothing, no pulling, no framing, no nothing. So you know, and some of this aftermarket stuff, you know, you have to do that, but not these guys. These guys are professionals, and I appreciate it. So I want to tell you guys, I thank you. And if you guys need products for your ATV, make sure you look those guys up. So you know, if it wasn't good, I would tell you, you know what I mean? But my job was pretty easy over there. So I'm excited. This steering is tight. And you know what I mean? So I'm interested to see what'll happen, you know, after about 20 hours of use on it from Brandon, just get an idea. So, but anyway, hey, listen, I gotta quit rambling. I gotta get off here and gotta get inside and see my lovely wife, and probably gonna do some barbecuing this afternoon, to be honest with you, Saturday afternoon, and you know, that kind of stuff, and just take it easy. So I'm not sure. Brandon may come over tomorrow and ride a little bit, or we may go out to the property tomorrow and ride. So as always, guys, I appreciate you watching my videos, and like, comment, and share. share our stuff. If you guys want to see something that you haven't seen yet, certainly hit me up. I'll show you anything that I do here. I should have did a video of me just setting a tow. Maybe I'll do that at a later time, so you guys will see that. So until next time, dude, I'll catch you. Thank you.